All right, YouTube, we're going to see if we can take this cap right here that's in as-found condition and make it look like these caps right here. So we're not going to over clean it. We're not going to polish it up. We're going to leave it with some patina, but we're going to see if we can clean it up. We're going to use some stuff that you have on hand, some sanding discs. I've got 120 and 220, something you may not have on hand, some Renaissance wax, and maybe a little 3-in-1 oil. Some folks are going to watch this video and they're going to go, well, why not just dunk it in Evaporust overnight? So much easier. Well, the downside of Evaporust is it's going to leave this gray film behind that you're going to end up wanting to either sand off or remove otherwise. So in my opinion, skip the Evaporust and just go straight to removing the coating on there that you don't want. In this case, the rust. I've used the 120 grit to loosen everything up, and the one thing I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to go to the brass coated wire wheel to remove some of that excess, and I would show that to you, but this section of my shop with the wire wheel is not fit for the camera. And we're back from the wire wheel. I'm just going to put a light coat of oil on here. This is going to continue to loosen everything up, and it's also going to provide me just a little bit of lube before I go to the 220 grit. And y'all know how this works. 120 grit makes big scratches, 220 grit makes small scratches and makes some of those big scratches go away. So that's really what I'm doing here. If you're wondering why I'm using these sanding discs instead of using regular sandpaper, it's just because that's what I had handy, and it's what I think you probably have handy as well. And look, this is most certainly not the only way to clean up a lever cap or any other part on a hand plane. This is just one method out of many. There's lots of products out there, lots of tools that will do this. I'm just strictly showing you one way that you can do it relatively quick, relatively easy. As much as I wish it was, this is not a paid promotion for Renaissance Wax. But if you know anybody at Renaissance Wax, have their people call my people. I'm using 4/0 steel wool here. That's the one with 4 zeros in order to apply this Renaissance Wax to every nook and cranny on this lever cap. I'm going to completely coat the whole thing, and then I'm just going to set it aside, and I'm going to let the wax set up for a few minutes, then I'll come back. If you have 100% cotton rag somewhere, that's probably ideal. I'm just using a shop towel to do this, and all I'm doing is just kind of buffing the wax a little bit just to give it a little bit of sheen, and it's putting that protective coating on there. So the idea, of course, we don't want the rust to come back. Another option, you can use your 4/0 steel wool again in order to buff out that wax, and that will also help it shine a little bit. And I don't mean super shiny, because remember, we still want that patina. We said we were going to make it look like the other one. I'd say we nailed it. This one I cleaned up about 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm happy to report the rust never came back. So we're going to call this a win. Under 14 minutes from start to finish for the whole process.